Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. My name is Kevin, and next to me is Marianne. Marianne has asked me to watch Killdozer. I have no idea what it is, so I'm going to bring you over to me a little bit closer. Even though you can still hear her. Say hi, Marianne.
Hi, Marianne.
And we're going to watch Killdozer. Here we go.
In 2004, a man would go on a rampage in Granby, Colorado in a strange armored vehicle, which would later become known as the Killdozer. Great name, by the way.
What?
I think I'm going to give the same title to my little Nissan. Beep,
Is
beep.
this...
Despite
let me just
continued
start where
attempts,
this is from.
police were unable to stop him.
I don't think
Attempts-
to start... Who,
One, holy hell.
no, this is quick, sir. Okay, I thought he had, like, a better opening, but...
I don't know. I don't care what opening or wherever it's from. Holy hell.
That is sad.
Holy hell. That dude's armored. That dude's armored.
Indeed.
Let me keep watching.
At his mercy. But why would anybody do such a thing? Where did he get this contraption?
He made it, obviously.
His name was Marvin Heemeyer, and he's become somewhat of a hero in some people's eyes. A reasonable man, driven to do unreasonable things. Which is just like me, the person walking...
That is an horrible, horrible reason to do bad things.
What's his reason? You haven't heard it yet?
He's a reasonable man who is driven to do unreasonable things. There is no reason for any human being to do unreasonable things unless you are absolutely put to the point where you cannot do anything else. Alright, and that's you're physically being attacked and you have to kill somebody.
Yeah.
Alright, you're starving. If I was starving and wanted to go steal, I would go fish in a river, and I would hopefully be caught by the game wardens fishing.
I was heard about that from my brother later.
I'm just saying. I wouldn't want to steal, I'd rather go fish.
Yeah.
Even though fishing is illegal during certain times of the year, I would still go fish. I'm just saying.
Hit back a bit.
I will.
Somewhat of a hero in some people's eyes. A reasonable man, driven to do unreasonable things. Which is just like me, the person walking in front of me is too slow and takes up the whole path, and Jesus fucking Christ, you fat fuck, get out of my way. Marvin Heemeyer moved to Colorado sometime in the 90s or earlier, which was
People, you
somewhat
guys
strange
should have to
as
see
he
his
was in his
face. That says
40s.
it all.
He didn't have a wife or family. He didn't even know anybody in the area. But he was a hard worker, soon setting up his own muffler repair shop in the area, and people said he was a very affable person. So he might be a little odd, but so far, I like him. Trouble began in 2001 when the Zoning Commission approved...
Let's review this for a second. Marv, from Mars Mufflers, moved into the area and
Didn't have a wife, he just moved in, yeah.
no wife, no children, and didn't take the opportunity to get to know any of his neighbors. He was known as an odd fella among his people. Right? That's a red flag already going up. Because who doesn't go out and shake the hands of the neighbors and say, hey, I'm new in the neighborhood.
Not everyone is as lucky to be blessed with personable skills as you.
Okay, well, I'm just saying, if they're not blessed like I am to have the personal skills I am apparently, that they should go out and they should shake their neighbors' hands.
Ideally, yes.
Alright, because what's a neighborhood?
A small community that you live in,
Oh.
you're part of.
Which is part of what? A family. A family forms a neighborhood. Their families interconnect.
Now, for anybody who doesn't know Kevin, he's very Irish, so this colors a lot of his views.
Not only am I of Irish descent, which does influence my culture, but I'm also 100% American, which also influences my culture.
Yes.
Because unlike anybody else on this God-given earth, I don't have to bow before no earthly king. I can criticize my government without no ridicule. I have the freedom of speech. I have the freedom of assembly. I have the freedom of protest, even though some people take that way
That's color. That's a whole.
out of context. We'll get into that
That's a
later.
whole other video.
But I'm just saying,
Yes.
I have freedoms that no other person on this planet has, other than the 350 million plus Americans who live with me. that are my brothers and sisters. That's where I come from. So let's keep going.
The construction of a concrete factory adjacent to Marvin's shop. For many years, He-Mare had used this route to get to his shop, as it was really the only access road leading there. Construction of the plant would block this route, however.
That's not a good
He-Mare
idea.
tried to appeal the zoning commission's decision, but was denied. He tried to petition the city with neighbours and friends, but was once again unsuccessful. The concrete plant was going to be built.
What happens when you
So
isolate
Marvin
yourself?
said, alright, you win. I'll just have to find another way to my shop. He petitioned to construct a new access road, and he even bought all the heavy machinery so he could just do it all himself.
Excellent.
Guess what? He was turned down again. To add insult to injury, the construction
That's your
of the
little
factory cut He-Mare's connection to the sewage line. And Granby Town Council fined him for not being hooked up to the sewer. With his livelihood seemingly in ruins,
That's not
Marvin
fair.
felt he had no recourse. He began planning his next move. He would write notes and record audio tapes about his predicament. I was always willing to be reasonable until I had to be unreasonable. Sometimes reasonable men must do unreasonable things. He made a list of establishments and people that had sided against him, and over the next year and a half, he
That's a hit
toiled
list.
on a secret project.
Am I wrong?
One of the machines He-Mare had purchased to build the alternative access route to his shop was a bulldozer. But by the time He-Mare was done
And
with
worked
it, it
on a
was a
secret
veritable
project.
tank. The bulldozer was fitted with makeshift armour covering the cabin, the engine, and parts of the tracks.
Good
This
idea.
armour was over a foot
look at it.
thick
Look
in
at it.
places, consisting
Good
of a
God.
concrete mix fitted between sheets of tool steel.
Jesus.
This made the killdozer impervious to bullets and even explosives. To see out of this armour, He-Mare installed several cameras all
Smart.
around the cabin and
Very
hooked
smart.
them up to 2 monitors he mounted on the inside.
Very
The
smart.
cameras were protected by 3-inch
Sometimes
bulletproof
smart
glass.
people can be very dangerous.
I am not agreeing with any.
And
And
by-
nobody should ever go out and do this.
No, but a point that you missed, you might have missed, is that he said he petitioned friends and neighbors.
Oh
So
no.
he did.
I
he
know.
did.
I'm very observant, and I did see that. And what you missed was what I said is, that's what you get when you isolate yourself.
But
and
he
you
had
don't
friends
go
and
out.
neighbors. You have friends and neighbors.
They didn't say they were his friends
Yeah,
and
he
neighbors.
did.
In the beginning of the video, if you would pay attention, and we'll go
Because he
back.
didn't have any wife and
Oh,
kids. He
we're gonna-
moved it by himself.
We're gonna go back and we're gonna watch it so I can show you again. This is a perfect opportunity. I don't get this often, but we're gonna go back and watch it again. Here we go. So you were talking about his friends and neighbors.
I was saying that he moved it by himself, but he made friends and neighbors that he petitioned to help him.
And I told you that when he moved there, he isolated himself from the other people in the neighborhood, which that's why the friends and neighbors didn't sign the petition. So we're going to go back a little bit, which we did, and we're going to watch it one more time.
Marvin
hear what he
He-Mare
said.
moved to Colorado sometime in the 90s
we'll find out
or
who's right or
earlier,
wrong.
which was somewhat strange as he was in his 40s. He didn't have a wife or family. He didn't even know anybody in the area. But he was a hard worker, soon setting up his own muffler repair shop in the area. And people said he was a very affable person. So
Affable,
he might be
friendly.
a little odd, but so far, I like him. Trouble began in 2001 when the zoning commission approved
Okay.
Affable. He's
All right.
a affable.
Affable means. Well, let's look up affable, shall we?
Okay, before he looks it up, I'm gonna say what my interpretation of affable. It means friendly. It comes from the word affirmation, which means somebody else approves of you.
So like the gregarious. If we're using 50-cent words,
Gregarious.
outgoing and friendly.
Gregarious means merry, more like.
Gregarious.
Affable means friendly.
Let's-
Gregarious means Santa Claus and
We're-
ho-hos and
We're
ding
about to
dongs.
find out. We don't care about gregarious, but we're going to find out about what?
Affable.
Affable.
Just.
Oh, affection. So, let me move you up a little bit. Marianne, how do we say that word again?
Affable.
I was way wrong. It's not even close to gregarious, and Marianne was correct. So we're going to hear it so everybody can hear it. She was right.
Affable.
Right, and affable is friendly, admirable, congenial, warm, pleasant. Okay, so I was wrong in my initial statement.
Cameras all around the cabin and hooked them up to 2 monitors he mounted on the inside. The cameras were protected by 3-inch bulletproof plastic. He even fitted in compressed air nozzles to blow dust off the lenses. 3 gun ports were installed, each fitted with a different weapon. A 50 caliber anti-material rifle, a 308 semi-automatic, and a 22 long rifle, each fitted with steel plates. Ymir even installed onboard fans and an air conditioner to keep the driver cool under all the armor. But there was one problem. The armor was completely sealed tight and lowered onto the bulldozer via a crane. That meant, once the driver got in, he wasn't coming back out. Now that's an extremely impressive thing to build.
It's a suicide button. It's the room is filled with water, or it's going to fill with gas while you hold the button, and everybody has to get out, but one person has to die. This guy was a do-or-dyer. Don't ever be that person. Unless you're put in that position. This guy didn't have the position to be in a do-or-die situation. This is like suicide. This is a permanent solution to a temporary problem.
Exactly. He linked his entire...
Keep going.
One time I tried to put together a chair from IKEA and I put the fucking legs the wrong way around. And he did all of this in his shed. And that's not even the most unbelievable thing about all of this. Numerous people had actually visited Marvin during the year and had been in his shed. And not one of them said anything about the homemade tank sitting in the corner. Like, what was going through their heads as they looked around that garage? Nice toolbox. May get one of them for myself. Broken boiler there by the looks of it. Ooh, expensive power drill. Might ask for a loan of that. Real old pair of boots there. Giant bulldozer fitted with composite armor, 3 gun ports and its own surveillance system.
It'd be the first thing I'd ask about. So what's
that killdozer we're in the corner about?
What's the armor for the dozer for? What are you going after? Are you fighting Godzilla? I've always said that. I never understood Jurassic Park, and I'm gonna have to say this while we'll pause real quick. And I know it's really weird.
I am gonna fit Jurassic Park aficionado. What is your question? Because I will answer it.
Right. In the 3rd Jurassic Park, when they're all loose in LA, and I know we're going deviant from everything talking about.
Okay, yeah.
Because the killdozer reminded me of it.
Awesome.
I never thought of, because if I was in Jurassic Park 3 when all the dinosaurs are loose in LA and they're running around.
By all the dinosaurs, all you mean is the T-Rex. Okay.
Why did nobody in like an 18-wheeler or a big semi-truck go as fast as they can and just slam into that motherfucker's ankle?
They were fucking scared.
I would have...
LA is full of
careful.
Leaf munching.
Careful. YouTube is listening.
Vegan, hippie, leaf munching. There are no SUVs, and because they pollute the environment in LA.
You heard it first here on Kevin Presents.
Well, I will tell you.
There are no SUVs in LA anymore.
They're gone.
They're gone. Godzilla ate them. The T-Rex ate them. That's why they got eaten by the T-Rex.
Excuse me, who got rid of them? It was the Bleeding Heart vegans that did, you can't own an SUV because it pollutes the environment. That is what LA is. Period.
Kevin, edit this part out, but...
You keep that fucking shit in now.
Ymir believed that God had built him for this job, and that it was God who clouded the judgment of the people who entered his shed. Now...
Okay, no, me first. So somebody who is about to build a killdozer, are you really that surprised that they don't think that God told him he's built for this position? Is that shocking?
I'm going to come from the other point of view where if you think God is telling you to build 3-inch armor plating lined with cement and concrete with 3 different types of weapons and bulletproof glass video cameras with little air nozzles that spurts the dust off them.
Yeah.
And you think God is telling you to build that?
Yeah.
You need some couch time.
Exactly.
Serious.
You're not. Yes.
You're not thinking. Everybody else is on channel 11. This dude's on channel 10.
I like Marvin, but I think I'm gonna have to take issue with the notion that God approved of him planning a fucking rampage.
Agree.
Like, it seems like a lot of effort on God's part to cloud the judgment of every single person that walked into the shed, instead of just making you see sense. Like, which one of those two things seems like the more logical option? Then again, all of this really happened, so what do I know? On June the 4th, 2004, Marvin lowered the armor onto the Killdozer cabin one last time, sealing himself inside. Began his rampage by tearing through the wall of his muffler shop and then the concrete plant, before making his way into town. For 2 hours, he terrorized the town of Granby. He destroyed the town hall, the office of a local newspaper that editorialized against him, the home of a judge, and many others.
This is only one side of somebody's story. We can get all pissed off, we can react, we can go burn everything down, we can pull down monuments, we can do whatever we gotta effing do. But all you're hearing is one side.
That's true.
Open your eyes and hear both sides of the story and come up with the conclusion yourself. Go research facts. Don't believe me. Don't believe Marianne. Don't believe our channel. Don't believe anything that we post.
Yep.
Go double check and search for yourselves. And if we're wrong, come back and please tell us.
Tell us.
We're wrong.
Yes.
We want to know.
Right.
Because we're more than happy to argue about it.
Of course.
Not argue. That's the wrong type of word.
Debate. Debate a point.
Talk about it and debate about it.
Yes.
We don't want to argue. We want to talk.
No.
Emotions have nothing to do with debate. We want to talk logics and facts. Let's get back to this. I'm really excited. This is a good video.
I tell ya.
Every building he destroyed was owned by somebody that had previously wronged him. In all, he smashed up 13 buildings, causing about $7 million worth of damage. But it should be noted that nobody was harmed. Police made continuous attempts to stop the rampage. Local and state patrol, including a SWAT team, followed the Killdozer everywhere it went, firing shots at the cab with no effect. They then tried to take out the cameras, which again failed as they had the bulletproof shielding. They climbed aboard, trying to figure out a way to put a bullet inside the beast. A grenade was even dropped in the exhaust pipe,
How do you think
nothing they could do
if you
to
had
stop
to
it.
hit pause? Because I want to see. That's why I want to hit your pause original. This is this.
I think it's gonna run out of gas, or he's just gonna stop.
A grenade was even dropped in the exhaust pipe, but nothing they could do could stop it.
Alright.
They even brought out a wheel tractor scraper to fight the machine, but the Killdozer just pushed it aside.
That's wow.
At this point, the police were running out of ideas. The governor of Colorado, Bill Owens, was considering authorizing a national...
I fucking remember this now. When he just said Governor Bill Owens, I remember this.
Oh, you're smart because he didn't even say the name. He said the governor of Colorado.
Oh.
You knew Governor Bill Owens.
Yeah, oh yeah.
He never said Governor. He never said.
I remember Bill Owens. I remember him talking about taking the National Guard.
So what do you remember? What do you remember about this?
I remember him coming on National...
Call it up, Kevin. Call it up from the cockles.
Yeah, I'm pulling up from the files.
Yes.
I remember Governor Bill Owens talking about calling up the National Guard to stop a man that was in a tractor that the police were not able to stop.
Yeah.
Was on a rampage and was threatening the lives of the people of Colorado. That's all I remember.
Wow, we'll see it for 2000.
I was way off.
2004.
I was way off then. But
Who cares? If you remember the effing governor's name by his picture and the description of it, that's amazing.
Guards to bring in an Apache attack helicopter and blast the Killdozer with Hellfire missiles, which is a fairly serious escalation. Feels a bit like we're skipping some steps here. Sometimes I can't get the ring off my fat finger, but I don't immediately break out the hacksaw. This was eventually decided against due to the fact that firing missiles on a US town probably isn't a good idea, and that the damage done would be significantly greater than anything He-Mare could have hoped to achieve.
But that shows you
He-Mare was destroying a hardware store when he encountered a problem. Killdozer's radiator had been damaged somehow, and the engine was leaking. Another problem, a thread had dropped into the hardware store's basement, meaning he was stuck.
Perfect.
The engine failed, and SWAT soon surrounded the machine. After about a minute, they heard a single gunshot from inside the cab.
Oh, he killed himself.
And the Killdozer fell silent.
Yeah.
I'm going to say this about suicide. And I'm sorry for anybody who has ever lost anybody from suicide, or has known anybody who has lost anybody from suicide. But I do not apologize for my next statements, because I'm a firm believer of this. Suicide is a coward's way out. You are taking a permanent solution to a temporary problem, and you are leaving all those problems and all those agonies to everybody behind you that you left.
Yes.
Police first used explosives to remove the armor, but after 3 failed attempts, they used an oxyacetylene cutting torch and managed to get in. Inside they found the body of Marvin He-Mare. He had shot himself in the head with a handgun. In 2005, it was announced that the Killdozer would be taken apart for scrap metal, with each individual piece being sent to a different scrapyard to prevent admirers from taking souvenirs.
Yep.
And thus ends the tale of the Killdozer.
What they